Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's another episode of Sang Lucci TV. As you can see, I'm in the New York offices. Where are we at now? Back in the financial district. I'm back at home here. Ezra's flying around his stupid drones in the background. Where did you get these things, by the way? You got them from China?
I think so. Right, okay.
You legit got them from China? All right.
Wow.
Let's try this one more. Ready? There you go. And drone goes away. Kenny, what's going on, brother?
I am chilling in all senses.
You don't actually walk around in the streets with those sunglasses on, do you?
These are my driving glasses.
That's what you wear to drive, bro?
That's right.
People think you're gonna rob them, bro, with those things. Man, it looks like you're about to take over a bank.
Or I'm going to arrest them. I need a mustache, which I'm growing in, which I'll get to.
Well, all right, all right. Well, listen, guys, we have a lot to talk about, obviously, about the markets. Past 2 trading days have been crazy. We're going to go ahead and talk some topics. But before we do, Kenny here has some thoughts here on UVXY, especially yesterday's action, man. So, Kenny, what's going on over there?
First, I'd like to ask if anybody would like to join in a pool. I'm trying to just raise money so I can continuously short this busted product to the point where I send it out of business, and then we just take over the entire Direction company and put them out of business too. But let me digress. It's free money, so maybe I should just want them to keep issuing products because all of their products sucks. The leveraged products. Yesterday was a miraculous day because the UVXY, if you don't know, I've been shorting this thing for about 6 months now, since the Ebola scare, and I noticed that these options were overpriced. This is the buttest, worst product that's ever come out in the stock market since the SRS.
I mean, Direction has put out a considerable amount of shitty triple leverage, God knows what ETFs, reverse, inverse ETFs, and all that kind of other stuff. And then there's a lot of other. There's power shares. And then there's a couple other that push out these things constantly. And for anybody who doesn't know, UVXY is what, 3 times the VIX? Is that what it is? What is it?
Yeah, supposedly 3 times the VIX. Now, obviously, in a bull market, you don't want to be long the VIX in general because it just disintegrates. But what makes this product extra special and extra awful is that the VIX can remain flat, but due to the contango and this thing trading futures that expire, let's say a month and a half, 2 months out, when those expire, this thing gets ripped apart. So it's really not following the VIX. It follows the VIX for the day, but then erodes if you hold it. So this is not something you want to hold on to. So over the course of time, it's going to eventually go back to zero unless we have a extended decline in the stock market.
Right.
It's been a fun trading vehicle. For the first time in a long time, I was long yesterday because this thing was finally showing some signs of life. And then somebody said, hey, do you think this thing's going to hit 50? I almost vomited. I was like, what are you, nuts? I was like, this thing's going to be down 30% tomorrow. This thing is that brings
you remember the SKF? You remember the SKF? That was the first financial ETF.
Yeah,
first leveraged 3 times financial ETF. The fucking thing went to $2,000.
Right.
And then obviously went to $1, and it's trading like $2 or $3 right now.
Yeah. I don't know how they get away with all this stuff. Somebody's making money on it. So
absolutely. So you're just shorting the shit out of this thing.
I'm shorting.
You want to raise money here to just keep shorting this bitch. How much percent? How many points here are you giving on this money?
Well, here's the thing. The stock trade right now, it looks like it's going to be stuck in this range. I'd say for a while because it looks like we're going to get in that volatile part of the year again. People don't know whether we're going to break out or sell in May and go away. I'm sure we're going to have another big down day in the next 5 or 6 days. Long story short, what I'm doing is I'm selling naked calls on it, which is usually a dangerous thing. We've talked about that. But this isn't a stock that's going to get taken over. This isn't a company that's going to, have great news. This is a busted product that over time will eventually go down. My only thing is if the market does start to get,
a little panicky, yes.
Yeah, this thing will start to rise. But I'm selling calls. I just started selling December 85.
So you're going all the way out to December, guys. This thing's trading about 40 right now. So 80 selling December 85. So there's no fucking way in the hell. I mean, again, unless the market tanks over 10%. But here's the thing: the value for those, the volatility that's going to come in those, you're definitely going to feel it because you're selling naked calls here.
Right.
So if there was a hedge on, and then you go ahead and start raising money for this trade, you might actually get some get some cash, man.
Right. Well, here's the thing. People are saying, the guys that are warning me. I had 500 naked calls on it. Up until about 2 weeks ago. Because the June 85s, this is before the split.
Right.
So the stock was down around 17, and the June 85s, with about, I think it was 2.5 months to go, were still 20 cents.
Right.
This thing was at 17, going nowhere. And I'm thinking, even if a crash was to occur, maybe these things go to 40 or 50. 40, right. I'm selling 100 until the guy left. I thought it was a glitch. I sold 100. The guy didn't move. I was like, all right. I kind of got scared there for a second. I was like, let me try to sell another 100. I didn't get printed for the other 100, but I wound up having.
That's called feeling the market, guys. For any of you guys out there that are retail or just starting out, that's called feeling the market. That's tape right there. It's like piano players when they're feeling out the keys or the right notes for a singer or whatever. That's exactly what it is when Kenny and I are trading on a sort of a high level. Yeah. So anyways, man, so let's hit the market here as well. Down 250 yesterday, up 200 today, close to 200 today. I think it was like 150. Obviously we're saying SPY is going to start to range out a little bit, and we're going to start getting some serious volatility. What do you got going on over there?
I'll tell you something that's strange about the market right now. I have a watch list. Everybody's got their watch list and blah, 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 blah. I watch a good amount of stocks on my screen. And I have a handful, about 20, 30, that the stocks that I follow the most. 25 of those stocks were weak today. Where was the strength in the market? The NASDAQ, the Qs were up $1.76.
Right.
I didn't see it in my list. And I'm telling you, it's the most bizarre day in the world. Alibaba's flat, FEYE.
There was some names, man. Like if you take a look at Intel today, for example, guys, you take a look at Intel. You look at Intel, and this thing has been consolidating for a good couple of months. And some of these big sort of industrial, some of these big down names here, they started to move, man. This Intel had a huge breakout day, hit almost $34, man. So there was some. Maybe you need to expand your shitty ass watch list, Kenny.
I guess. But seriously, it's a bizarre day because 90% of stocks I watched today were weak or relatively weak or flat. It's a weird day. I'm glad I really wasn't watching anything too much. All I was watching was the Qs and the UVXY. Those are my two big positions. Everything else is kind of secondary. Right now, again, I'm waiting to see if the Qs break out. I think it'll be an all-time high for a lot of you guys. I still think we're ending the year at 120 and then looking at 145 by January 2017 when Obama says goodbye.
Right. And more on that. Like I'm a couple of trades that I'm looking at. Like you guys see the Netflix out there. Take a look at Netflix. Take a look at Amazon. Some of these bigger names there. The Google is one that I'm looking at in particular. And I hate the fact that I gotta say Google instead of. I sound like a fucking idiot, right? I sound like Superman's father, right? Kal-El. So anyways, this Google here is consolidating sort of around 555 and change. Can't really get over 580 or $600. Definitely looking for a rotation back into this name. This is one that I'm betting a decent amount on, and then I'm also sitting here watching this Baidu. You stopped trading this Baidu a while ago. Baidu is kind of like the weaker name out of the pack, and you figure with all these Chinese ding-dong names rallying to the heavens. By the way, it's been a while since I've seen you, man. Have you seen some of these Chinese names, dude? Like Yoku and these garbage names that people just discarded completely? Dude, crazy, man.
It's a stock like Yoku and a couple of weeks ago with the Yelp. It's when shitty, awful stocks, not only did it come back to life, but they go up 200%. It just makes me, if I couldn't hate the stock market more, or if you don't know that about me, I despise all of this shit.
Dude, I think any experienced trader fucking hates the stock market. But again, I don't know, look at Ezra. Do you hate the stock market, bro? Or do you love the stock market? I can't get the read from you. Do you hate it or love it? Or are you in the middle?
I think it's good for things other than what everyone uses it for. I think everyone's using it wrong.
All right. Here's the philosophical answer from a trader. Anyway, so again, most traders, I think I myself, I guess we could say hand traders. Most hand traders here, at some point, because the swings are pretty complicated. Plus, you always have to adapt and adjust to a new environment. You got to keep your instincts going and all that kind of stuff. So it gets it's kind of this love and hate sort of experience.
The reason I hate it is that I'm like, even though I might be an insane kind of guy, party animal, blah, 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 people think I'm nuts.
Yeah, by the way, guys, anybody who doesn't know Kenny or hasn't hung out with Kenny, like, you know, on a you know, more intimate situation, and I don't mean intimate like that. Come on, get your fucking mind out of the gutter. I don't mean it like that. I mean, you know, in close proximity here, and I don't mean it like that. So screw you.
Don't go out drinking with me once before. That should be on your bucket list. Everybody should come out drinking with me on Tuesday night.
I love the stock.
All right, Ezra loves the stock market.
I want it to make some sort of sense. And when something makes no sense to me at all anymore, I've grown to despise it. And when stocks like Yoku and Yelp and some other bullshit, I mean, really, Yoku, this thing was, not only did it bounce, it's up like 200% off the lows. Yeah. But what that does lead me to do is find some other bullshit stock to embrace, like this Bazoon. How could you not want to own a company? Remember, you were around 1998, 1999. We were buying stocks because the name was cool and they were shooting gerbils out of cannons, Siberian outposts, you know. They had a great commercial, or the name of the company sounded good. All I heard was Bazoon Chinese retail.
Yeah.
What? I'm in. Next thing you know, I'm down $500 in 13 seconds. I'm like, okay, maybe not. I bought it at 50, thing goes to 10, breaks 10. I'm about to sell it. I'm like, wait a second. It's a Chinese internet stock, and Alibaba owns some of it. Aren't they going to manipulate this up 500% in the next couple of weeks? So I held on, and it popped the next couple of days, and I sold it today at 13. I got stopped out 13.85. For once out of 10 times, I stopped actually work today. I got stopped out at 13.85, and it went down to 12.25.
Retail and using stops with options. Like, I get so many guys in my chat room that'll sit there and use stops for, you know, some of the options that we're trading on Google and Priceline. These guys are absolute. They just haven't figured it out quite yet. But dude, what was I gonna ask you, man? What were we just talking about, bro?
Baidu Chinese.
Baidu Chinese. Guys, if you want to interact on Twitter and you have stories about owning or, let's say, getting screwed over by a Chinese internet company or maybe a Chinese IPO that went bad, go ahead and interact on Twitter. Ask the same thing that you want at Sang Lucci. Have you ever used Yoku? Have you ever actually used it?
I do not know what Yoku is.
Okay, so it's the YouTube. It's the Yoku.
I've never heard of it before.
Okay, so when you go to the site, it looks basically like a completely stripped down version of YouTube. So you have like a excerpt video list, and then obviously it's all in Cantonese or Mandarin, you know, whichever the language. I don't know what it is. Right. And usually, you know, I don't even know if we get access to it. But again, a lot of ads, things like that, but you can get a lot of ripped shit. Like, you can get a lot of pirated shit on Yoku, man. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what everybody used it for. That's what I used it for.
Oh,
you know?
so
like,
more videos came out.
You know?
Cool. So more illegality, fake products, and illegality. Got to own the stocks, right? Fake products on Alibaba. By the way, I got to show you. I got the best streaming internet Chinese website on the planet.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
Ever made. I don't know how they do it, but I wouldn't put it on a PC, but it works great on my Mac, and I've watched every freaking movie that's out so far. So if you need any tips on what to go see, don't waste your time on Interstellar. Oh my God.
Yo, come on, Kenny. It made me think, bro.
Wow.
That movie did make me think, bro.
Wow.
Is it because you're Jewish? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is, bro.
You just had to throw some sort of anti-Semitism in there. All right, brown man. Interstellar is gotta be right up there with Cloud Atlas as the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the one with Brad Pitt? Cloud Atlas? Is that the one?
Cloud Atlas was Tom Hanks and beautiful.
Tom Hanks.
With the short girl.
Scarlett Jo.
I don't know. She's black and she's short and she's hot. I can't remember her name.
Ooh, that's my MO right there, man.
She showed her tits and Swordfish with John Travolta for the first time.
Oh, Halle Berry. Is that
Halle Berry? Yes.
How did you forget? How do you forget Halle Berry, man?
Whatever. I can't remember.
All right. So moving on, guys. We got to talk here about this financial swing trade. Kenny, I don't know if you trade any of the financials here, but I have been long swing. Goldman, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, JPM, the whole nine, the whole Bank of America as well, or at least watching. I covered Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley pretty much in the last couple of days, and still holding Citigroup, Bank of America, And then Prudential also that I'm in. Are you in any of the financials, and what are you noticing here about the financials? I'm thinking, you know, it could be some pretty good rotation going into this year despite choppy activity in the markets. What do you think, man?
Glick Fund owns Bank of America. That's it. That's all I.
Do you get stock? And what price are you in from?
Right around here, just, you know, like 16 and change. It seems like for the last 9 months, right?
Yeah, absolutely. These things have been doing absolutely nothing, especially Bank of America, at their all-time highs. They're into their all-time highs now. A couple of them are. Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has been the best. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, you know, these ones are pretty good as well. And then some of the regionals, too, like State Street, STI, and then some of the insurers. I don't know if you take a look at AIG. But this also has been a good rotation as well. So I'm still long these things with June expirations, looking to keep rolling. The problem is, though, and Kenny and I were talking about this before, is that the type of environment we're in, you know, it doesn't matter how dated your options are or whatever, these shakeouts get pretty aggressive, man. I mean, you saw yesterday, you know, anybody who was long, regardless of if you knew it was bullshit or not, you know, and who trades options, especially on a swing basis, to hold in the face of these things is pretty difficult. So the trade or the strategy has moved towards sell that volatility and fucking buy it back when those options get washed out.
Wait, before we go any further, what happened to Broadcom? They just finally get taken over? I just went by up 10 points, finally.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. What's the ticker for Broadcom? I don't even know.
BRCM.
Oh, yeah. No, you missed the news today. This was huge action on this thing. Got halted and then reopened, I believe. So yeah, you're a little bit late, bro. Kenny, you're mad late. Unless there's news on it after hours.
Wow.
What do you got?
No, this was one of my favorite stocks of all time. This is the stock I traded all my life, my whole career. My dad still owns some. Sweet. Nice.
There you go. There you go.
It's 10, 20 years in the making, finally get this stock back in the 50s. Look at that. Is it a done deal? I'm not going to go start reading, but whatever.
You are an old faithful, though, man. You stick around a while with these names, huh?
That's my dad. I mean, he still owns Time. He still owns, you know, Time Warner from like 15 years ago. And he's got Verizon since they split, you know. When was the breakup of AT&T into like 9 different companies? He still's got the Verizon, the Southern Bell, Lucent, Alcatel. He's got all that shit somewhere. All
right. So another topic here we're throwing out. Periscope here has been rolled out for Android finally. Have you dabbled in Periscope at all? Should we dabble in Periscope at all? Have you looked at it? My thoughts on it. I mean, honestly, it's a great voice, obviously, for everybody. I just don't like the medium, you know. It's you get that one vertical strip, so you can't really see anything, and everybody's kind of putting it in front of their face. I don't want to see your ugly ass face that close, you know.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. It's gaining quite a lot of traction. Have you used it before? What do you think, man?
No, the only relation that I had with it was when we were watching the Pacquiao fight. Somebody was
because they didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay the $100, right? To just that shit.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it actually, but I thought all I know about it is that's some sort of streaming device that you could use on your phone, but it's amazing that I figured that was out there already, because we've been using Ustream or Livestream or all these other streaming.
But that's the beauty of it, right? Livestream, and again, you and I are in the business, right? So that where we might need a service like that, a third-party service like that, where we can broadcast this stuff, and then you got the SoundCloud, and you got a bunch of other third-party sort of streaming services out there where you can host video content, live video content, but they're all like paid services. You know what I'm saying? Like Livestream, Ustream. We all scream. That shit was all $300, $400, bro. $300, $400 a month.
Right.
And this is just a quick, easy, through your phone, so everybody has that voice. So I think, obviously, it's going to pop up pretty quick. And this rolls right into, and since Twitter is Periscope, this rolls right into, what do you think about all the fucking talk about Google buying Twitter, bro? I mean, every day now, we're getting the rumors that just come out. And I hate when they do that, by the way, because you get that 50-cent spike up in Twitter, and then the calls just go to shit right after. It's been happening every day.
Right.
What do you think, man? Should Google buy Twitter? What do you think it would look like when and if that happens?
I think they should buy it.
I think they should, too.
But I think they could probably wait it out and bleed this company to $25 a share the way it looks like, you know? Again, I wasn't watching anything today. Forgive me. But this is just they could probably let this thing just drift down to $30. And for a company that's supposedly getting taken over, it's been the weakest piece of shit stock in a long time. So unless they're manipulating it down and then
right, there's always that context.
I don't mind owning a company, and this is what I said about AOL, and that didn't really work out back in the day. How could a company with this many people following and this many subscribers or people involved, how could they fail? You know, they got to figure out something somehow to make money. And that's what I thought about AOL back when they had, they had 16 million people joining. It was the only way onto the internet, and that company figured out how to fuck it up. But Twitter is beyond. It's how we get our news now. How could this company not, like, somehow somebody figure out how to make some money off it? And maybe Google's the one. They give them $50 a share one day, and you know they'll make something out of it.
But dude, here's the theory. And you've seen how LinkedIn has traded recently, and before the last earnings report, right? And guys, anybody who's been trading LinkedIn from the IPO, IPO'd at 60, went to $120 the first day, dumped back to like 80, or maybe an IPO'd at 60, open up at 80, something like that, and then it's been drifting up to $250, $260 since. And now all of a sudden, earnings report just came out like shit, and they can't make money either. But that was still the darling social media, the social network thing. LinkedIn was the sort of darling here, and then next up was Facebook. And you can see the action every single day through the tape. It's garbage. It's garbage for all of these names every single day, man. So maybe people are starting to question if they actually can do this, if they actually can pull this off after seeing all these other earnings reports, the Twitter earnings report and the LinkedIn one.
What were you talking about a second ago? Were you saying LinkedIn was the other one with the
LinkedIn? Yeah.
50. Yeah, I still don't get that company, but again, I don't know. I don't use it. But if you're gonna play Twitter, the way I have some Twitter in the account, I just sold puts on it, you know, because I don't know if it's going up, but I don't think it's going to go away.
Right.
So, you know, I was looking at, what am I in? I have, I think, December 30 puts on it that I sold at like $1.50 or something like that. Or no, I have the leaps. Right. The way I think of it is, okay, if it goes nowhere, do I want to buy 500 shares at 30? Sure, why not? And if it gets taken over, they'll expire worthless. You know, yeah, I wouldn't want not to be in it when it gets taken over. You know. Right. It's just they haven't figured out how to make money. Maybe they get a new CEO and the whole thing, and it revitalizes the company. But what I was talking about, my friend today, I was like, this is one of those markets, and again, peculiar that a lot of my main watch list didn't really have a good day. But if you had a stock that didn't participate in a rally today, you suck. you might want to reevaluate whether or not you even want to own it. This was like this was a crazy, broad-based, everything. But what's good about the stocks that didn't go up today, you got a good chance they're going to be up tomorrow. Sector rotation, keeping it up. You know, it's the same conversation we have every week.
Of course, same conversation. You know what else I got into, too, with a couple people from the chat room? It was like, you know, buy some outdated calls and sell the weeklies against it. You know what I mean? Sell some of the weekly calls against it because, you know, you're not getting as much of the clean follow-through. You're always getting these fades off these highs. So it could be a good way to keep you in the big picture trade and also shave in some income here and try not to get shaken out of some of these long swings that you have with days like yesterday, which can get pretty ugly, man. So dude, moving on, we had Michael Kors with a huge drop. You trade this thing. This thing was down what 10%, I think, today. Traded down like 40 and change. What do you think, Michael Kors here? And by the way, some of these high-end retail names that are like, to me, that are like designed towards women have kind of been lackluster, man. Lululemon, you've seen that. The UGG boots, the Deckers, you've seen that. Coach, you know, a lot of these other names, they're kind of looking a little soft, man.
I keep forgetting about Deckers. Well, it's still hanging in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made a sick comeback. I was left for dead at 25, 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. But you can thank Tom Brady for that, bro.
True. As far as Michael Kors, if I have angst towards any company, it's this fucking company. My wife, she spends, these $400-$500 bags, but that's not where the story ends. One of her Michael Kors bags has like a big, like brass buckle on it, right?
Yeah. It says it's just got the K on it, right? Or it just has the M.
We're fighting in the car one day.
Oh, she hit you with that shit.
And you know, I'm not gonna say I hit my wife, but I just gave her like one of them right in her face kind of mush.
Face smash. Yeah, the little face smush. Yeah.
And she took her bag and she just wanted to just throw it, and the thing clocked me. I have the picture because I was gonna, in case we had to go to a lawsuit, bro. This thing, I had a big Michael Kors logo embedded in my fucking skull. I mean, it was there for 3 days.
Oh, that's too good, man. That is
like, oh my God. So I hope they go out of business.
Now, and you know what? And I think that's women in general. Every woman I see that, you know, that takes care of the way they dress, that enjoys buying, let's say, you know, a step above the Macy's brand, whatever you can get at Macy's. You know, every single one of them has a Michael Kors watch, bro. Every single one of them. And I'm like, dude, get some creativity, man. Those watches, they look like shit. It was like Fossils to us. You remember Fossils for us, bro?
Swatch and Fossils, right? Yeah.
Dude, man, you know, after a while, it just got lame, man.
Now, here's the thing. The analyst that came out to defend it today that I happened to catch, and the funny thing is, I think it's the same guy who came to defend it when it was at 70. Where did it close that thing? 40 something, right?
40, yeah, 40 and change.
Okay. What's the symbol?
KORS.
All right, cool. So $46. Yeah, I mean, this was over 100 at one point, or what?
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yes. Close
I remember the guy defended it at 70, so he's defending it today, saying how it's like it's a brand that's, you know, here to stay. Who? 3 months from now, one popular woman decides,
right,
we don't like Kors bags anymore. Nobody likes Kors.
Nobody likes it.
Cannot take a high product like this and say it's going to be here forever. This isn't Tiffany, 200, you know, whatever, 150-year-old company.
Right.
A year from now, we might not even know who Michael Kors is.
Yep.
I mean, that's why I don't care about these stocks. I mean, it's just fads. You know, again, the market, and, you know, I think with like a GoPro, it's sort of like a fad. But I think those cameras are here to stay. They got a little niche until somebody comes up with something bigger, better, smaller, more powerful. I think they got it, you know, and I think the company's going to succeed. So even though it was a fad for a while there, I don't think it's going to go away. I'd actually see, you know, GoPro succeeding. I know it's not the same kind of thing, but I'm trying. I can't think of like niche kind of. I mean, Deckers, I guess, or
right. But you know, back on the topic of fad, and this was something that I want to bring up, and we'll end things here. Is the iWatch, man? Is the wearables market, right? And it's hitting hard right now. It really is hitting hard. I'm at this house party the other night, and 3 out of the 8 people there had either the iPhone watch, an LG one, 4 out of the 8 people, and then 1 had a Samsung one, and they all had pre-sexy bands already that you could accessorize with. They already swapped out for these hot bands. Like they had this mesh one with the magnet and shit. And then the LG one had all these displays that you could just download and just boom, put another display on it. And I'm looking at it like, yo, that shit is kind of hot, man. It's kind of hot. What do you think of the wearables, bro?
I'm gonna say I'm never gonna buy one.
Of course.
Definitely not. It's not about me. It's about whether my kids and, you know, the teenagers want them and force the parents to buy them. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't wear watches in general, but I like the idea. Like you could just make a new watch and just download. You suddenly have a new watch. That's kind of cool.
Man, I'm telling you, man. The faces that these guys already had. I'm like, dude, that's like all I had to do is click a button and I've changed my whole outfit, man.
Right. Well, the functionality behind it, I don't know. I mean, do I want to have all my stuff right here? I don't know.
Yeah, functionality was whack. The phone had to be right here, and they were always quoting the touch this button, and the camera will take a picture. And that's like if you want somebody else to take a picture for you, you just click here, and then it takes a picture for them or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. So functionality, again, most people are using it for the fitness part, like burning calories, how many friggin' miles I'm walking, and all this kind of bullshit, you know? And that's what most people are using for. But honestly, man, the test market already, like, these things are selling, bro. These things are selling, and people are talking about them. And then on Instagram and all this kind of stuff, Dude, everybody is posting it. Everybody is posting it, man. So when Apple rolls out these products, man, Jesus, man, it's not a failure like Google Plus was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, when they roll out some of these things, you know, they got a whole movement behind
They have enough of a following now because it's a cult now. We're part of, you know, we're a group of.
Right, we're part of the system. We're part of the system.
Yeah, and I'm, you know, I was telling my dad he was going to buy a new PC. I'm like, give it up. PCs suck. I mean, the last 2 Windows rollouts just ruined PCs for good. The freaking tiles, everything they've done to me has been a failure. Macs work better. It's worth the price. And once you're a Mac person, you're in the Mac store. And I'm telling you, just like a casino, they release the oxygen in the air to keep you awake so you can do more gambling. When I'm in the Apple store, and again, I'm a Jew. I don't like to spend money. When I'm in the Apple store, I fucking start salivating. I just need to buy something. And I'm like, I just need to get, what can I buy? And then, I mean, I want a new computer. I don't even need a new computer. I think I want a new computer. Oh, my God. Oh, the only thing I didn't care about, I just walked right by the watches. And the sick thing is there was nobody looking at the watches. You know how they have the layout, like 90 watches?
Right.
Nobody there. Everyone's still checking out the iPhone 6, the big one, the small one, the Macs. They got their tubular computer that nobody talks about. It's pretty freaking cool. It's like 64 gigs of RAM. It's
amazing that we're black. I tell somebody I got 32, and they're like, man, you need to, you know, that's not even that's normal now. I'm like, dude, come on, man. How much do we need, bro?
Yeah, but there will be what? How many have they sold already? Is there a number out?
What, we're talking iPhones here, or
no, the watches?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whether they're behind or ahead, they'll always sell. Yeah. Apple is that company that whatever they put out, they're going to sell a bunch of them.
Crazy.
And the question is whether or not it becomes an iPhone. Nothing's going to trump their iPhone. That's their flagship product. You know, no one even talks about their computers. I mean, their computers are awesome. They're beautiful. They work well. I mean, and it's so much better than PC. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I think the closest I'll ever come to a watch is if, you know, when my kid begs me for one. And,
yeah, or somebody gives you, or your wife gives you one for a gift, and then she'll put the Michael Kors fucking logo on that shit.
I think the only reason that my wife would give it to me because there's like a tracking device in there, so she'll know where I am at all times.
There you go. She'll be like, oh, shit, he's with the Sang Lucci boys. That's it. I got to go get his ass.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny. Well, dude, thanks for joining us. I think, guys, we're going to link together later on this week. I'm in New York, man, so I'm hanging out. I'm kicking it. I think Kenny and I will try to get together, maybe do another one, a fun one, possibly this Friday, man. So, Kenny, you got any last words for these cats? How do you want to trade them tomorrow here?
I'm going to be, again, I failed to mention that I don't usually have hair in my face. I don't really like it. But I'm growing a beard. Until the UVXY has 3 updates in a row, I'm growing a fucking beard. So I might have like this monster Bushman shit on my face at my wife. Not that my wife and I have sex anymore, but she's like, well, I don't even want to come near you when you have hair on your face. I'm like, you never come near me anyway. Shave my entire body bald and dip myself in Purell and be ready to go, and you'll just go to sleep. Anyway.
Are we talking the alcoholic Purell, man?
Yeah. She likes when I'm clean. What were we even talking about?
How you trading them tomorrow?
I'm going to be watching the UVXY. If this thing shows any kinds of strength, I'm going to just short a couple of the indices and just try to get out of the day alive. You know, I see the VIX kind of spiked here into the close, and the market came in a little bit. So we'll probably have, I got to assume, just based on what we've seen, we'll give back 25 on the NASDAQ and about 40 on the Dow tomorrow, and the VIX will be up a little bit. You know, and I'm sure I'll find a couple of reversals that I'll trade, but I'm really have hunkered down and I'm just trading this UVXY. And
it's good, man. That's good. That's when you're focused. You can spend your time on other things, man. That's good. And plus, summertime's coming around. You know, this stuff is going to get pretty. There's not going to be that much volatility out there. You know, once June and July really kick up. You know, maybe you might get a couple sectors that are in play. Obviously, you'll always have some names that you can work, but you know, as a market in whole, you know, things are getting pretty difficult to day trade here, you know, on sort of a consistent basis with all the bias just changing so quickly. So tomorrow, guys, for me, watch out for Tesla and Priceline. Both of these two have been doing nothing for a while. And then I'm watching the banks. And then I'm watching the banks for some follow-through continuation. And that's about it. Keeping it light like Kenny and enjoying the city, man. I'm gonna take this week and really mess around here, you know.
Cool, man. Yeah. Hopefully you stick around for another week. I'll be around Monday and Tuesday. We'll do it SLTV drunken or hungover, something like that. Yeah, that one goes.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Lucci and Kenny signing off here. We'll see you for the next episode. Sang Lucci TV.
See ya.